My friends, I wish I was down there for this rally, but I went down to Richmond yesterday. It wasn't fun. I came out to Richmond tonight to bring some clothes to a friend of mine. So we came out to City Hall, and we were blown away with the fact that we could see a Canadian flag, but there was one way at the top of the building. But there's a Ukrainian flag right at the entrance. No other flags. It is what it is, I guess. Me and my 17-year-old son just about got jumped by two dudes that came out of the bush and said, "What the are you fucking doing here?" Blah blah blah. We're just like, we're here. Is there a food truck here or something like that? You don't look like you need a fucking like. They just tried to jump us. Like, we were just trying to like give the people some free clothes. Then what happened, which was really interesting. You know me, so I just like did what I did. I bypassed them, but I was kind of concerned for my kid, but I bypassed them. Went up to the building to ask the people that were working inside. There's nobody working outside. It's very dangerous. There is tents and like in this area where there's all these trees. So we get into the place. I hand the bags off. I turn around to come back. Went outside, and there's literally like six dudes up on my face, just screaming at me and yelling at me like, "What the are you doing here? Blah blah blah. You get up in my face. What's up? What's your problem?" I mean, this is the funny thing. The one guy's dealing. You can tell because he's not messed up. You can tell he's not messed up. So he was completely dealing, or he's on meth. And there was like two or three other dudes with him that they were just like tough guys. I love it when people think they're tough around me. But anyways, we're just like, okay, we're not going to have any part of this. So we bounce. We walk across. We're leaving. And next thing you know, there's two dudes following us. Then we get across the street right behind City Hall. And there's two different dudes following us. So we just walked. I laughed at them. I laughed at them. I said, "Bro, you're following the wrong dude. You don't want to come down the dark alley with me." So we got into the mall, and I think that'll be the last time that I go to Richmond. These stores in the mall, it looked like Tokyo. And I haven't been to Tokyo. I've just seen videos of people in Tokyo. But there's all these crazy stores. Not crazy store. I want to say crazy. They're not for Canadian people. They're for Japanese people, and there's a lot of them. Anyways, maybe Sam is right. Their corruption is crazy real, and there's a lot of people out here. Anyways, God bless. Friends, so we just got into Richmond, and the kid says, "Hey, that's City Hall." And I'm like, "Yeah, that is City Hall." But if you look at City Hall, there's no Canadian flag or British Columbia flag, but there's a Ukrainian flag. My apologies, friends. I wasn't looking well. I've got a little bit of a messed up neck, so I don't look up. But at the very top of City Hall, there is a Canadian flag flying.
Residents opposed to a supportive housing project rallied at City Hall earlier in the day. They want to keep pressure on the BC government to permanently cancel the project after Richmond Council revoked its approval. As Rob Easton reports, some are concerned the province may overrule the city.
So we're not against supportive housing. Everyone is in favor of supportive housing. We're against this low barrier drug site housing, which is causing problems not just in Richmond, but in communities across the province.
Very well said. More people need to say the exact same points. People are not against housing people that want or need support. But when you go into a place like Richmond to hand off some donations for some people that might have some old shoes that are torn or some nice like sweaters, and you get jumped and you're 6'4" and you're a big dude, like, yeah, people don't want those type of drug addicts. I mean, that guy was dealing anyway. This guy spoke.
Organizers with the group Keep Richmond Safe rallying opponents of an on-again, off-again supportive housing project in Richmond. Community concerns over alleged open drug use in public safety caused the project to go through provincial review last fall. The group says the province's approach to mental health and addiction is one-sided, and doesn't address what they call the root causes of the problem.
They don't. I've been saying this I've been saying this really hard since November on my YouTube channel, but I've been saying this for a year or two, maybe even. Well, I've been saying this ever since Bonnie Henry on May 17th, 2020 came on our TV at 11 o'clock in the morning and started crying because there was a whole bunch of people that had died because of drug abuse, drug addiction. That's when I knew she was lying. That's when I knew she was like behind a lot of, you know what I mean.
Think we should have like more of the four pillars, because right now it's only the one pillar that's being used.
You know, the Asian community shames their own family. So if there's so if I was Asian and I had a mother and father and brothers and sisters and I got involved in the drug trade or I was under the influence of drugs, they'd shame me out of the family. So now you've got to try to open up a place in the city of Richmond where it's mass immigration is predominantly of Asian descent. Not going to work.
Why don't we, instead of supporting housing, why don't we build a detox center?
She doesn't even want to get people like talk about getting clean. Just go to detox. You have a problem. Fix your problem.
Then last week, the province said it was back on, but then the city of Richmond withdrew its support.
Thank God.
Flanked by Conservative MLAs, Leader John Rustad says the ball is in the province's court to address the community's concerns.
We have Richmond councils now said no. The question is, will the government now override Richmond Council and force it upon the community?
Rustad says the province needs a comprehensive plan involving treatment and keeping drugs away from people living with addiction. But some at the rally went even further.
Watch, it is and it is.
You jail and no bail. I know that sounds very political nowadays. I don't give a damn. We should have been doing that years ago. We should have been hard on drugs. And you give people treatment and keep them there until they are better. And that's
I'd like to know if this guy's sober.
what we have to do.
I understand that like we should have compassion to these people. They probably had a bad time, they had a rough life. But like think of a way that to help them, not to, keep pushing them to take drugs.
She had a rough life. She wore like 4 jackets, and it's not that cold out.
It's not a solution.
But despite concerns, the BC Ministry of Housing told CBC News late Monday they will not overrule the city because the city owns the land. Rob Easton, CBC News.
Really, who owns land and who's gonna, the reality is everything starts at the top. So we've got to get EB, we've got to get the government to change their policies, and everything will filter through. It's not going to start from grassroots projects like me or other people. I'm not dumb. I know what's happening. I'm just one, and there's other people. It looks like this Blanket Society guy is just another. There are others like Sheldon that they all want to say the same thing, and we are saying the same thing. But unfortunately, the government has and holds the power. They can fix the problem. Let's see what they do.